If you have ever felt uneasy when things go quiet, when your phone stops buzzing and your calendar finally opens up, this video is about you. Most people think they are afraid of falling behind, but that is not the real fear. The deeper fear is what happens when you slow down and nothing distracts you anymore. In that silence, you are left alone with questions you have been avoiding, and that is what quietly controls so many lives. We live in a world that rewards speed so aggressively that slowing down feels almost dangerous. Productivity has become a moral badge, and rest feels like something you must earn rather than something you deserve. Somewhere along the way, many people stopped asking whether they were moving in the right direction and focused only on moving faster. This is where the fear begins, because speed can hide uncertainty while stillness exposes it. Imagine someone who fills every hour with work, messages, podcasts, and scrolling, not because they love it, but because stopping feels uncomfortable. When they finally sit still, their mind races faster than their schedule ever did. Thoughts about missed chances, unresolved emotions, and quiet dissatisfaction begin to surface. The brain learns quickly that busyness equals relief, and slowing down equals discomfort, so it starts to resist stillness automatically. Psychologically, this is not laziness or lack of discipline. It is avoidance wrapped in productivity. The mind prefers familiar stress over unfamiliar clarity because at least stress has a script. When you slow down, you are no longer reacting, and reaction has been your identity for years. Without movement, you are forced to notice whether your life actually feels meaningful, and that realization can feel threatening.
There's a reason many people feel anxious on weekends, during vacations, or late at night. Those are the moments when momentum pauses and the nervous system does not know what to do with the space. Instead of feeling calm, the body feels exposed. You may tell yourself you are wasting time, but what you are really feeling is the absence of noise that once kept deeper questions quiet. This fear of slowing down is reinforced everywhere. Social media shows constant progress, constant achievement, and constant comparison, all compressed into seconds. Even rest is marketed as optimization, something you do to perform better later. The message is subtle but powerful. If you are not moving forward, you are falling behind. Over time, the mind internalizes this belief and treats rest as a threat. What most people do not realize is that speed can become a form of emotional anesthesia. When life moves fast enough, you don't have to feel disappointment fully, or sit with grief, or question choices you made out of pressure rather than desire. Slowing down removes that protection, and suddenly you are face to face with your own inner life, unfiltered and uninterrupted. This is why slowing down can feel scarier than burnout. Burnout at least gives you a reason for exhaustion, a story that explains your pain. Slowing down takes that story away and asks you to define yourself without constant output. Who are you when you are not producing, achieving, or proving something? That question makes many people uncomfortable because they have never answered it. There's also a social fear attached to slowing down. People worry they will become irrelevant, forgettable, or left behind if they step off the treadmill. They imagine others racing ahead while they pause, even if that race is invisible and self-imposed. This creates a constant background anxiety where rest feels irresponsible and presence feels inefficient. If this video is resonating with you, you are not alone in this experience, and understanding it deeply is the first step toward changing it. On The Human Psychology, we explore these quiet mental patterns that shape how you live and move through the world, often without you noticing. Staying connected here can help you see your own behavior with more clarity and compassion.
One of the most overlooked aspects of this fear is how it reshapes identity. Many people do not know who they are outside of motion. Their sense of worth is tied to how much they do, not how deeply they live. When movement slows, identity feels unstable, and the mind panics, trying to restore the familiar rhythm of urgency. The nervous system adapts to constant stimulation, and when that stimulation disappears, it feels like withdrawal. This is not because rest is harmful, but because your body has been trained to expect intensity. Slowing down requires retraining your system to tolerate calm without interpreting it as danger. That process feels uncomfortable at first, which makes people assume something is wrong. There is also a hidden belief that slowing down will reveal failure. People fear they will discover they are not as passionate, fulfilled, or confident as they thought. Speed allows them to postpone that discovery indefinitely. As long as you are busy, you can tell yourself you will figure things out later when there is time, even though later rarely comes. But here is the quiet truth that changes everything. Slowing down does not create these uncomfortable thoughts, it reveals them. They were already there, influencing your decisions from the background. When you slow down, you are not losing control. You are regaining awareness, and awareness is what gives you real choice instead of automatic behavior.
When someone finally allows themselves to slow down without immediately filling the space, something interesting happens. The initial discomfort peaks, then gradually softens. Beneath the anxiety, there is often a sense of relief, as if the mind has been waiting to exhale for years. This is the moment when people start to hear their own values again. Slowing down also restores perspective. When you are constantly rushing, everything feels urgent and equally important. When you pause, priorities reorganize themselves naturally. Some things lose their emotional grip, while others quietly ask for more attention. This clarity does not come from thinking harder, it comes from giving the mind room to breathe. Many people believe they need to fix their life before they can slow down, but psychologically, the opposite is true. You need to slow down before you can see what actually needs fixing. Constant motion keeps you reactive, while stillness allows you to respond intentionally. This shift alone can change how you experience work, relationships, and even yourself. This does not mean abandoning ambition or becoming passive. It means breaking the illusion that speed equals progress. True progress often feels slower because it involves reflection, adjustment, and emotional honesty. These processes cannot be rushed without losing their value. When you accept this, slowing down becomes an act of strength rather than weakness. If you find this kind of insight meaningful, subscribing to The Human Psychology helps support deeper explorations like this one. It also signals to yourself that understanding your inner world matters, not just keeping up with the outer one. That commitment alone can quietly change how you relate to time and pressure. Over time, people who learn to slow down intentionally develop a different relationship with urgency. They stop reacting to every demand and start choosing where their energy goes. This does not make life smaller, it makes it more precise. Instead of being everywhere mentally, they become fully present where they actually are. The fear of slowing down never completely disappears, but it loses its power when you understand it. You realize it is not warning you of danger, but of change. It is the discomfort of stepping out of automatic patterns and into conscious living. Once you see that, the fear becomes a signal rather than a command. As this video comes to a close, take a moment to notice your own pace right now. Notice whether your mind is rushing ahead or allowing itself to be here. Slowing down is not about stopping life, it is about finally being inside it. And when you allow that, even briefly, you may realize you were never falling behind at all.